All right, I'm also very casual. This is a Sunday for me, so just want to be really relaxed because this is a good training. I'm excited to be sharing it with you. It's around self-trust and self-confidence. I have people say to me all the time, clients, friends, Julie, you're so confident. How I don't know how you do it. I don't think I could ever be that confident. And I hear this so often. So today I just wanted to offer up some information on how I learned to gain confidence in my own life because I haven't always been this sure of myself. Okay, so it's been a process. So I'm going to share that with you. Now, the problem is that confidence is not just a simple problem with a simple solution. It's not like you can just say a few affirmations, meditate a handful of times, and poof, you're suddenly confident. It's process. So when I sat down to create today's training, I really thought to myself, how do I encourage someone to be confident, and how can I give something to someone that I know has to come from within? So, but that's when I thought to myself, I may not be able to give you confidence, but maybe I can help you see yourself and your own confidence in a new light. Maybe I can offer a new way of looking at confidence in and of itself and a new angle that might allow some of you to finally have that aha or that light bulb moment, and that can make all the difference in the world. I know for me, just hearing something from someone said a different way, maybe it's something I've heard 10 or 20 or 100 times, but that 101st time that I hear it, that's when it hits me in my gut and I feel it through my body and I go, and then it becomes wisdom that I can apply to my life. So I'm hoping that some of you will get one of those moments out of today's training. So that's my hope. Okay, so here we go. So what exactly is confidence? And where does it come from? And how do you relate to it? And I thought about all the times I've had to call upon my own confidence. For example, when I walked out on that stage for the bikini competitions that I did almost 5 or 6 years ago now, or when I speak up and share my opinion at a social gathering, or every time I share a piece of content on social media or provide a live training just like this. This pulls and pulls on my confidence to do this. Or when I walk into a room full of strangers and I have to introduce myself. All of these things I have to call on my confidence. In each one of these moments, it does require confidence. And when I looked even closer at these moments, I realized that in each one of them, the thing that allows me to walk and speak confidently or share confidently is that I have built up trust in myself. Now let me explain. Confidence is about being able to trust yourself. And I talk about trust all the time, trusting your body, trusting the wisdom of your body, but trusting yourself too. So when I do all those things, I think to myself, did I trust that I put in the hard work to wear that bikini? Yes, I know that I did. Do I trust that my opinions are well thought out and sincere when I speak up? Yes. Do I trust that I believe in my message enough that even if no one likes it or no one shares my content or training, that I won't stop putting it out there? Yes. So I do this for me as much as for anyone else, everything that I do. Do I trust that even if I introduce myself to a stranger and if they have no interest in what I have to say or do, that I won't let it affect my self-image? Yes. But all of those things took time for me to build up the trust in myself. Now, I believe that the trust you have within yourself is what your confidence is built on, as I said. So if confidence rests on trust, how do you build trust within yourself? Because if you can understand how to build trust, then maybe you can better understand how to boost your confidence too, right? Does that make sense? If anyone has any questions as I go, please pop on and ask a question. Obviously, I'm here to interact with you as much as possible. Now, how do you build trust with yourself? Now, I think the best way to understand this is to look at how you build trust with other people. I think it's sometimes easier to see it through that filter, okay? So when you consider how it's actually how you build trust with other people, it's actually built through a series of events, exchanges, and small moments, okay? And it's through those things that you gather evidence for yourself that you can, in fact, trust this person, okay? So those events and exchanges and small moments are things like, number one, the person honors your boundaries. If you say no, they don't push you. That builds trust. They are reliable and show up, and they show up when they say they will for you. That builds trust. This person holds you to your highest self, keeping you lovingly accountable. Okay? That builds trust. They keep your secrets sacred, and they don't share your business. That builds trust. Number 5, they show integrity, not just talking about it, but living it, even when, and especially when, things get tough. Okay, that builds trust. They again, by being compassionate with you and non-judgmental when you need it the most, that builds trust. And finally, by choosing to see the best in you and generously giving you the benefit of the doubt, that builds trust. Okay? So all of those actions that I just mentioned, another person demonstrates to you that they are trustworthy. And as a result, you build up your confidence in your relationship with that other person through those acts. Okay? So now, I want you to take all that I just said, now looking through the lens of this now, of how we learn to trust others, let's shift the perspective and turn it all back onto ourselves or onto you, okay? And begin to demonstrate to yourself that you are deserving of trust and the self-confidence that you so much want. And that will follow. So here we go. Number 1, create and honor your own boundaries. Saying no when you need to, and protecting the time you set aside for yourself. Now, as a recovering people pleaser, this was a key step for me to build self-trust, as I was always making other people more important than me. Okay? So again, the first thing, create and honor your own boundaries, saying no when you need to, protecting the time you set aside for yourself. That builds trust in yourself. Number 2, prove to yourself that you're reliable. Keeping the promises you make to yourself above all others, not just one time, but over and over. Okay, this was another big one, okay? Again, think about it from the perspective of another. If someone continually broke their promises to you, would you trust them? Okay? It's the same thing. You got to do this for yourself first. So you must do this for yourself first, and then you can teach and train the people around you how to treat you with the same respect. So prove to yourself that you're reliable by keeping the promises to yourself. Number 3, show accountability when you've come up short, right? Acknowledge your shortcomings, apologize, and move on. So this is about taking full responsibility for you and your life. There is a huge sense of freedom that comes with taking 100% responsibility for your life. And it's all up to you, and that is the best news. But by showing this accountability, acknowledging things and moving on and taking responsibility, this builds trust in yourself. Okay? So that was the third one. Fourth, keep what is sacred to you sacred. Not using hurtful words and thoughts to others about yourself. Now, I always say, be careful what you say because you are listening. Our voices are the most powerful voice that we can hear. Speak kindly to yourself. Not only does this feel better, but you're creating your reality with your voice, speaking what you want into reality. So it's about manifesting, it's about all of that. So keeping what is sacred to you and not using hurtful words or thoughts about yourself to others. That's going to build trust in you. Number 5, show integrity. Practice your values in tough situations rather than just professing them. Okay? If you're not clear on what your values are, I invite you to get clear on them because it is a powerful exercise to really understand what your values are at this point in your life. So often we carry our values from years ago and we don't reevaluate what's the most important to us now, what we value the most now. So I have an exercise to help you get clear on your values. If you've never done a values exercise, again, I highly recommend it. If you would like to do that values exercise, just drop a comment below this video. Just put values and I'll make sure I get that exercise to you. It's completely free and I'd love for you to get clear on your values. It's a huge North Star for your life to understand your values. So again, number 5 is show integrity and practice your values in tough situations rather than just professing them. So that's number 5. Number 6, show yourself compassion and stop judging yourself at times when you need help. Eliminating the negative self-talk in your weakest moments, just like a trusted friend would, especially, and I believe this, especially around your body. It's so important to just check that inner critic as much as possible and just stop yourself mid-sentence and choose again and say something kind to yourself. And again, especially around your body. I do have a wonderful body love exercise that I got from a book that I've read. So if you're interested in that and you struggle with body acceptance and body love and showing yourself compassion from that standpoint, I have that I can offer you as well as just something free that I can send you. So if you'd like that, comment body love below this video. So I want to be able to give you guys as many tools as possible so that you can start building this self-trust as quickly as possible. So number 6 was show yourself compassion and stop judging yourself at times when you need help. Well, I would say all times, but it's impossible to stop judging 100% of the time, but at least when you need help. Start eliminating that negative self-talk, especially in your weakest moments. Now, the seventh step in building self-trust is, and I love this one, by giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, assuming the most generous thing about yourself, choosing to see the best of you. Okay? Now, I look at everyone in the world through this lens of they're doing the best that they can with the knowledge and experience that they have, okay? And if I've given that generous view towards others, then I also have to look at myself and say the same thing, that I am doing the best that I can with the knowledge and experience that I have right now. And I invite you to do the same for yourself. It is one of the kindest, most loving things that you can do. See, I'm always learning, growing, and changing, and so are you. Okay, so Just give yourself a little bit of compassion. And again, the seventh step to building self-trust is by giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, assuming the most generous thing about yourself. So those are the 7 steps that I wanted to share with you. And just to wrap up, I think oftentimes that we think of confidence as something that's dependent upon the behavior of other people. That our level of confidence in any situation relies on whether or not people will accept us or not, or reject us. But that's really just a practice in giving away our power. Instead, we must think about confidence as an inside job. We have to build up our own self-trust moment by moment, event by event. And again, gathering evidence day by day that we can trust ourselves. Taking note daily of our wins and how we are in fact gaining ground and improving. Then we will build up enough trust to know that the actions and responses from other people won't hold us back from going after what we want, for going after our dreams. We'll have that, finally, our inner selves will feel safe enough to create new things and go forward confidently. Okay? It's a beautiful thing when you learn to trust yourself. Your confidence goes right alongside it. I guarantee it. It's exactly what happened for me. The more that I learn to trust myself, the more confident I feel. The more that I learn to trust the wisdom of my body, the better my body feels too. Okay? So, let me ask you, how's your confidence? Do you have trouble trusting yourself? Is it because you break promises to yourself? Because you're afraid that you'll be judged if you put yourself out there? Is it because you have trouble living your values in moments that are challenging? These are all questions to ask yourself. Whatever it is, I would love for you to identify it and decide just one way you can start building more trust in yourself. Maybe it's a commitment to talk more kindly to yourself, or to make it your mission to follow through on your next promise, no matter what. That next promise you make to yourself, just follow through with that. And just notice how much better you feel after that. Remember, the way to build your confidence is to first prove to yourself that you have your own back. Okay? And that you'll do that by building trust in yourself. Now, just to wrap up, if you'd like any of the free resources that I mentioned, be sure to comment below either values or body love, and I will make sure that you get those exercises ASAP so that you can start building your own self-trust and self-confidence today, okay? I just want to say, you are so worth it. Much love to you.